The first we will say the Refuge Prayer and generating bodhicitta. At the end, we will say the mandala offering, and we will say in Tibetan 2 times, in English 1 time. So if you have books, or you can
10 o'clock.
and where you can download. So if you have a book, we will begin on page number 10, Refuge Prayer. Lama la ya zun che wo san ye la ya zun che wo che la ya zun che wo yen dan la ya zun che wo san ye che dang zo ye cho nam la shan jo ba de da ne ya zun je da ye zhen zo ye zo nam ye ro la ben zhi san ye zhe ba shou san ye zhi dan zo ye cho nam la chan jo ba do da ne ya zun je da ye zhen zo je ye zo nam je ro la ban zhi san ye ro ba shou ya sen jen tam jen de wa de vi ju dan den bar ju ji sen jen tam jen du nga ji ju dan zha wer ju ji sen jen tam jen du me be de wa dan men zha sen jen tam jen ni ran cha dan ni dan zha we da nyang la ne wer ju ji sen jen tam jen de wa dan de we ju dan den wer ju ji sen jen tam jen du nga ji ju dan zha wer ju sen jen tam jen du nga me be de wa da men zha wer ju sen jen tam jen ni ran cha dan ni dan da nyong la ne wer ju ji o san ju bu xie ju xia me do zhang zhe ro len xue ye de jian ba de san ye xiang de me de bu wa yi zhu gu nang da xian la zhu bar zhu ye dang gu ru ran na men da la ga me ya da ya In English, on page number 11, I take refuge in the Guru, I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. From now until my enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And by the merit created in this practice, may I attain the state of Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. May all sentient beings enjoy happy causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and causes. May all sentient beings never be separated from joyful bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment, and anger. This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, Mount Meru, encircled by the four continents, surmounted by the sun and the moon, I visualize this Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy the pure land. Idam Guru Rana Mendra Kame Yada Amen. Now we will say Tara mantra. Om Jade Doma Namo Doma Chaza Lo Chaza Doma Dare Pamo Dodara Ye Jigon Sema Dore Dona Damje Dema So Inge Jalara Om Dare Dare Dore So Om Dare Dare So Om Dare Dare So Om Dare Dare So Om Dare So Om Dare So Dare So Om Dare So Om Dare So Om Dare Dare. Dare so ye wa de Roma Drone Rowa Jang de Sala Hover Show Napa Chinye Pa Nali Tartre Dove Nene Malo Tando Jong Dover Show Mena Da Dem Song De Jo Roba Kando Sambo La So Pa Yang Sem Da Dan Ja, 다 참아 대랑 그치 직동 안에 낭치 것도 되지 지나고 폴로지까지 제일 좋아하는 시죠. Um, Good morning, everyone. So today, I would like to explain about the Buddhism, and so make yourself comfortable and have more questions later on. 직동 가도 될지 자니마 찾지 초지네 꼴찌다 찾지 용도 꼴찌다 참참 말이나 취소할래 아 찾진들래 아주 자니마 저를 속여 그러지 내 초지네 내 지금 아주 니 직시 지장지 그래 그러니까 아는 거로 참아 그지 쇼츠도 참 시거든 소소다 설명한데 저는 드리지당이 하고 송세지 다 미카실레 유저 카실레데 요메메시 대차당 어디랑지 돌대운 뒤에 소수 냠는 지역을 지금 이렇게 잡아로 오토지 something um the all the sangha who come here on the daily basis, especially on the Sunday, to receive the teachings, and you when you come here, of course, you from the listening and the studying, you have collected uh, a lot of informations about the Buddhisms. Um, but when it's time to come to uh, gather or the put or the implement the practice, or sometimes you just reflect on the what I have learned from such a long period of time, or such a long study on Buddhism every day that I come here on Sunday, and you don't doesn't have a like specific that we can grab. Oh, this is I learned, and this is uh, the the steps of the practice that I've learned that I can put into my daily practice. So what I want to do, I will like briefly explain the all the main the teachings, and then maybe you can kind of carry this teachings or the practice in your daily and use it in your daily life. 오늘 직동하고 다 내가 낭바인 에디tin 낭비는 나 법이 낭바인 선 법이 낭비는 나 냥바인 까지 델리긴 사자이제 때 같이 무슨 나면 통구메스. And I also not considering as an importance, for example, that I'm a Buddhist, and not only just a Buddhist, I'm a Tibetan Buddhism, or I practice Tibetan Buddhism, or I am Tibetan Buddhist, and or you might say my religions is, or my school is the Nyingma, the Karju or Gilu or Saka, and so when you have a strong kind of like intentions or the feeling toward those kind of like feeling as a Buddhist, or especially Tibet as a Tibetan Buddhist, or I'm Nyingma Kaju Gilu. I think this is I'm not considering as very important,
같이 뭐 말을
가르친 말은
대사다네 같이 뭐 가르르스나 그 텔라 장리 남비 치리 나마 돈도 가르시게인데 어때 삼로 땅네 소소데 소 팬톤 드면 톱 팬톤 드면 어때 같이 버렸어.
So what is the importance? Important is the uh, uh, what is the essence of the teaching and what really that teaching the expressing the essence, the meaningful and so on, that what we should keep in our mind and proudly express, whether from the mind, from the feeling, or from whatever, and that is, I think, is importance. And once you have that feeling strongly or proudly, and then the next step is use it. So this is consider as important, rather than I'm Buddhist, I'm Tibetan Buddhist, or Nyingma, Kaju, Sakya, whatever sect you're considering as.
아니 미치기 그런 칠리가리나 남바인데 남바가 조 가르치고르지나 저왔다나 그런 때라오 때 남베 조 데리실라 냠는 시고다 렌트 야토와지 소수 용토니 초라디 용토고르
For example, for example, when someone randomly asks the questions, like, well, what is the importance task of the Buddhists, and what is the important the practice of the Buddhists? So at that time, if you able to express not just the not just making just saying, but rather out of the experience. If you explain them, that is the essence, that is the task, or that is the essence of the Buddhists. If you express or if you share that knowledge, not just from your mouth, but rather from the feeling, from the experience, I think that is also very important.
그래서 다 어쩌 넘바 간다죠 넘바 세티 네 성지 콘조섬라 잡선도 그래야지 콘조섬라 가르치 잡선도 근데 저원이 왔들 내용 그랬으나
So we might pick the, or we might pick the the knowledge of the, or the understanding of the three jewels, kunchoksum. You might talk about or you might explain the three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. And you might say, oh, as a Buddhist, there are three importance, which are Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, or the three jewels. Then then they might ask further kind of questions. Okay, what are they, or what are they, and who are they?
어떻게 랭가르요다 성지 검초세 게르다 아주 게르 고도동도니 오는 선준데 그런 야신네네 마바네 코라방네 팀니 좀 브랍트 som도 뭐 갈리겐 타마 그런 예비 연든 지고래 그런 토픽 연든 그런 게 토픽 연든데 체검조래다 디기 연든데 당하고 체검조절라네 토픽 연든다 longtemps tombé dans une amitié longue c'est dans tombé dans une longue tombé chez c'est 그런 게 relativi 서로한테 심당 양질로 소비 서로한테 아니 방어는 봐 조정 교들라 longue 담치를 봐 일용도 디 longue 치공적으로 잡선도 그래 치공적 잡선도 유가르는 그런 게 relativi 연는데 그런 거네 막 송송 교대 냠는지 디 네질라 그런 게 연는데 기긴 적고 있는 제가 좀 일 차고 됐다 비엔텔 잡선도 그 임생 가서 코기 연는 등과 토군도 세들이지. 때 토버셔발라 아니 때 조동 성지 로지 동원인 저서다 때다냠 단다워다 베트 맡은 장진이 들라 남라 시기니 똑바기라 기다오노 초지거로 있는데 때 참질라 있는 검축시고 어때서나 내가 잡서로 있는 뜻이 때라니 레와 주진이 게 아니게 길라 어느 디 연는 토바치기 있는 뜻에 그러지.
And so three jewels The first is the Buddha. So Buddha, if you want to explain the what is the Buddha, so Buddha is like our teacher. It's like our teacher, and Buddha historically who came in this world like almost 2,000 years ago, and who was a prince. And later on, he renounced all his wealth and lifestyle and so on, and then he uh, 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 and then later he took the descent, the path, which he through the practice of the or through the practice or through the hardship, he able to eliminate or abandon all the negativities and achieve the wonderful knowledge. That knowledge, what we call the second um, dharma, the second jewel, which is the dharma. And what we really what we try to study or to practice, that knowledge, whatever Buddha expressed, and that knowledge, that which caused him to become enlightened one. So that knowledge we try to uh, the again in our life through the practice. And the third is the sangha. The sangha is a community uh, or the companions or the friendshipness and so on, who can provide the helps to in order to one's able to fulfill, able to achieve that knowledge. And the community also considered as the community whoever also gained that knowledge, the Buddha's knowledge.
Tensota ani tela caption dola tong tapa go tapa set tela tapa chal ichi tapa ngoto japan sa ichi tapa yong la tapa set tangwi tapa set kan na o te sanji chum de de ko de kali jam de ra sha te ra ju te ngon ton rangjin tham chil phan tho yong asire te ya hore samni simna te doba ti ngor o ya hore se 요거 요걸 써서 노바데 당위 답하래지 당위 답하디 짱에 용을 써도 어디 어디 나라 지고 토고 나랑한테 토비 니와 요래 그래서 맞추지는 아 토바에다 때 토바지 나랑 토바지고 근데 그세네 딱 원토지도 원물 토벌도 봤을 때 그런 게 이건데다가 토벌도 봤대 원토지다 봤디 짱에 용서 근데 라진 그 셈나네 이치도 당위 답하 원토지다 봐 때지도 네 라진 셈당니 때라 장화진이 파 토벌도 답이 장용 소텔라테네 런싱게 답아요나 텔라테네 소아게 웅거 소아 칼리자가 소아용거 소아요나 텔라테 존지니 칼리자라 니와 토인토거 니와 토용서 베랑거 아니 열라 똑바요니 경우 똑바요 소열라 냠용 토용서 텔라테네 셈당니 이치 기타바게 웅거 일치베 같이 용거 넘바지고 이치인도 바테네 이치다 바지고 답았으면 뭐디 끝닐랑네 아니 고축선나 잡сын 오고 그렇지 또마 도랑아 군초라 잡슨 도즈 마운트금 펜토로 말이지.
When we talk about the three jewels, of course, we will explain the three types of faith. Having a faith and belief toward the three jewels, the strong convictions toward the three jewels, and the which are the three faith is the three faith is the pure. The first is the pure faith, and the second is a longing faith, and the third is a convinced faith. So these three we call the three types of faith, or the Tedpa Sum. And um, for example, uh, for example, the by the very understanding of the Buddha who has gained the uh, wonderful knowledge through the very long hardship work, and that he achieved the extraordinary the knowledge which he attended enlightens, and that very the uh, compassions or the knowledge, what we call, and that is not only just help himself, but rather it help other. More importantly, help others. And by knowing that Buddha been through this hardship and helped tremendously all sentient beings, and then we have a kind of pure faith toward the Buddha. So this is the first faith. And then once we have a pure faith, of course, that pure faith will kind of like want to acquire, to want to have this kind of that knowledge, and not only just we say I want this, but I really want to have this knowledge, and I will try to achieve that knowledge. And then also we go through all the process in order to get that knowledge. So this is the second faith. Then we gain the second faith, which is the ngombiteba, longing, ngontujiteba, longing faith. And then once we have a longing faith, and then of course we will go through try to achieve that knowledge, and so you later on you will equipped with all kinds of informations from the teachings and so on, and then that will cause the firm and the steady convictions toward the Buddha, and that is the third faith we should have, and we Tibetan we call Ichibi Teba, the convinced faith, and that faith is very important, I think, very legitimate, and that we gain from the not just randomly we heard from some talk active, tell us wonderful about the Buddha, how miraculously he is, and so on and so on. And we've been taught from the parents, and customly we have to do this, but rather we go through this whole process first, knowing that he achieved that knowledge, and which caused the pure faith toward him, and that will cause the longing faith that we want to achieve. Not only just want to achieve, I want to go through all the process, all the hardship, and in order to gain that knowledge, at the end, I will at the end we gain the steady and firm and convinced faith toward the Buddha. So that faith is very important.
Teni tapazi gila kiyongna tela tenen turang rongzing semna doba yungur tela jangwajin doba yung doba tela ten zodi china ngalwa yung kali jat kore kali javena ere beijin tin dewo ngoni satang lam topa gila jini ene sangi kumpala ya top topa gila yung.
And because once you at the end, once you have a convinced faith, and then you will have a you will put all the hardship and without any the feeling of tiredness or getting bored and wondering and so on and so on, and then that kind of hardship, the feeling of wantingness, which cause the great effortness, and that effortness is the very important, which will reinforce you to to gain that wonderful knowledge.
어떤 벤춘지 비 랭이나 비 놈데 오지 고치나 그럼 속다지 간도나 속다데 로고 당보 무일 속다데 안 로고 김슨 당담바 아니 카르 타미 디오 카르 토고 근데 지금 미 뭐노 무일 당지 고인 로에나 텔레 tum지 치고 통걸 그런데 당보 속다데 난 로고 김슨 카르 말라 속도 소중 라시더라 소중 라가 소중 속다 나기 약보 주고 요로 gen te yondun te ngi lan jorgo tenza te gen te lan ro gen te sangi kon chok chabre ti ji yondun te ne chi kon chok chabre te la te nyam te class mit chin ro chin ro chi an ro ma gen te kon chok te la te ne ni kyorong ti yondun ti ngi wo te pa kar jangen lo ta ti nang su yondun chan de ji la su dam ba chin de ya ho de ngi ma chi la pan to jang sam kalung won jang te la zo chin ba su chin te la batsu죠 당위 선당은 도바지오 다바르 딜라테네 그럼 소아진이 탈 소소가 아니 롱도 되게 탈심비 럭지 토용으로서 아니 디 레오레스 탈뜨근 레오드레스 대장 아주 정보네 뭐일 때라 섭저든 조고 장와지 갈리 갭치 갈리 갭 타마드 레오드 토부치긴세 땡아로 뭐일 와지 어떤 나지 벤순전은 되르지
If I give you the example, uh, uh, the regarding the meaning of the three types of the faith and how how and what we can make sense. For example, if we use this idea toward the entering the college or the school. So before we go to the university, first there's two things arise. The why what is the first is the reasons, and the second is the results. What is the reason I'm going to university, and second is the what result I will have it. And of course the reasons I enroll university. Of course I need the knowledge. I need the knowledge that I wishing for. And in order to gain knowledge, of course you again you have to rely on the three important things, which is the teacher, knowledge, and the community or the friends or the classmate. So these three is a kind of like a three jewels. It's kind of metaphor as three jewels, and three jewels for like a teacher is like a Buddha, uh, and first before you taking any class, first you will research the teacher that you are going to rely on, who is he, who or she it is, and and then once you find the right the perfect teacher or the master, and then you will try to gain the knowledge, right? This which is the dharma. That is the what one of the most important, right? And so once yeah, but not only just having a teacher and master, uh, you will easily accomplish your wish, but also you need to rely on the classmate or the colleagues and so on, who can also help you to succeed that your university life. Uh, uh,
자성
참았어. So this 다시 가면 좀 so this is the three things we have to we have to we have to know, right? That these three things are very important, like in Buddhism's three faith: pure faith, longing faith, and convinced faith. So once you know the that teacher in the university has a wonderful knowledge, and and then you will gain the pure faith toward him or her. And then once you have a pure faith toward him or her, and then you have a longing faith, which is that you want to have that knowledge, and then uh, at the end you will have a convinced faith that you fully the believe that that is it, that is the teacher that I need, that is the university where I should be, and that is the classmate I have to be around, and I will definitely fulfill my wish.
대자다 네 데릴 소름 돋다 탈심을 쉐발라 당부 김치 이 창고군다 그런 언니 진짜 반주르게 잡든 진이 로송 당하지고 그래 그런 건 맞소진네 쏘아진네 깔리자든 이 창고요 그렇지 된이 창아이나 아니 긴 무슨 소바데 연단다 맞대 로드에 보잖아 그 결혼 연 무슨 소비에 파베스 차트 보러지 어떤 언제 선지지 고모토버 쉐발 손이 오늘도 그 손이 소소거니 이시 소동 손놈지 소스 손지 소세데 좀 받아 바로 드시면 되는 거네 jimba songa strim songa jimba tonga la soba ni tende zoba samden lo soba sonum ki chod tani sosorang ni ge jela jang yonden ani ishi chi chod ni pat tarshim bo go ors tani patsu soba yong so ni rang jin kro sanji chi kompang tok tok ri da she go so do da
So so here, what is the importance that explaining or showing us here, once we go through the three jewels and have having a three faiths and so on, that teach us that there's a two importance the things that we have in our life, whether we are in a university, uh, whether we are in a university or we are in the Buddhist community. So whatever wherever you are, uh, you trying to achieve your goal, right? So in order to achieve your goal, there's two things you need, two supportive thing you need. First is the financial, and the second is the supports, right? Once you have these two, and he or she will definitely will achieve their goal. Um, Same as even like in university, we need financial support, and same as we need support from the other, right? The financial support is like we have to pay a university, right, to have to to study there, and the supportive is like we need the supportive from the teacher, from the classmate or colleague, and so on, so on. So these two is very important. So once you have these two, you will success or achieve your goal in from the university. Same as in the practice. The practice we say the two uh, to accomplish the merits, which is very important. First is the merit of the uh, accomplish of the merit, uh, and sorry, the two accumulations. First is the accumulation of merit, and second is the accumulation of the wisdom. And the accumulation of the merits, which is the one of the six perfections, one of the six perfections. Oh, sorry, one of the fourth the perfections, and the accomplishments merit is also supportive, the things that we need in our life.
어 근데 지 대자다 네
Wonderful.
그때 너무 그렇죠 대자다 소소네 텐데지 caption dollar 다 ngazu number sangi 다 법학 잠도나 라마라 좀 sangi 좀 실을 좀 된다 좀 지용 잠도 저 거치요 지금 성스쿠리 지금 sangi 좀 실을 좀 네 잠도 저 거트 가르치 용아래 정도 아니 알아서 지금 토픽 연든 톱사 될라니 상기 코나비 니와요 말때서 상기니 마 길용도 아니 상지 세바다 냐랑다 좀 바다 소소키오 근데 길 망보즈 용거자 라마세데 연든 지지 바세 지고 라마티나나 상기비 차와 맞춰와자 아니 tin 촌비체데 아니 소소랑일라 카틱 단다 소소랑일라 니슬랍 그 겐지요 저 겐티나 상기비 니와 요마르 상지 세바다 소소키오 동담나 조용거자 어때 참마티나 디비 캡슨도 살나 때 정말 rewa susu yondon juwala sangi ngazo kurchil li sangi ni shel manje bata tani ma gi perembe chi susu jo tende gili yongo cha ta ta zong chombi che da ni sangi la cha lama la cha so zong la de ja ga de si sheng ge zwa yong na lama chi ko yin zhen de chi de
And also, the three jewels are very important in the Buddhist. And when we say the prayers, we have a custom, or we have a tradition. Traditionally, we have to begin. Mostly, we will begin with uh, uh, the three jewels. And sometime occasionally you might heard the four jewels instead of three jewels, which we at the top we add the lama or the master. And so uh, if someone asks you why I see somewhere like there's instead of three jewels you have four jewels, so what is that? And then uh, you can let me explain you why we have the lama at the top, because the uh, of course, like Buddha uh, did came, and he shared that wonderful knowledge, and there need to someone who can acknowledge that very knowledge, and have to carry that knowledge, and so on, and in order to share that knowledge toward all sentient beings. So once we find that perfect or authentic the persons that we consider as a lama or the teacher or the master, and uh, so that master uh, doesn't necessarily he or she might be Buddha, who knows, or might be Bodhisattva, or just the simple kind of individuals, or ordinary simple individual who has a wonderful knowledge. So we don't know who he or she is, but we consider him or her as a very important, because of course Buddha, Dharma, Sangha very important, but without him or her we wouldn't understand. We don't have access in order to understand that knowledge and clarify my darkness, and so on and so on. So that's why uh, sometimes when we say the refuge prayers, we say the four refuge prayers instead of like three jewels. So first you will have at the top you have a lama, uh, uh, which is the master, and second is a sangye, which is a Buddha, and the third is a chu, which is the Dharma, and the last is the gindun, which is the Dharma.
어떤 저다 아니 다 잠도 돈 봐나 잠도 돈도 다 하고 잠도 돈 봐나 다 낭바 지알라 당바 잡숨 녜스 미고네 텔라와 중 텐디지라 낭바 세고르스 텐디 저다 텐디 낭바 자소 잠도 돈 줄라마 저서 중에 저서 돈 봐이 어 텐디지 다the 잠비고네 아니 디 연든 잠비고네 돈 봐나 팬도 전부 요르지
Just most of this number in all right.
잠도 잡숨 오 잠도 잡 tanda jamdu tengi sambi goni japsum tengi sambi goni o telane nga rewa chugin samlu to yona ta ti choro tenne to ti choro namba chada resi
So what's make you Buddhist? Um, uh, uh, by knowing the three or the four, sorry, three jewels, their knowledge and definitions and the knowledge and so on, and then you have the strong convictions toward them. So since then, you can as a Buddhist.
토마토 띵아 남바이 신코체니 들리지나 데 펜토요 말때 단다 남바이메 다주르다 단다 신코체 되게 아주라 너 자루 그래 가지고 실리크 신코체니 막 약은 망고요 그랬을 때
Yeah.
펜 맞았지.
Yeah, so this I think is a very important. If you knowing the essence, the knowledge of the three jewels and their definitions and so on, and then you will have a strong convictions toward them. So that sense, then you can call yourself as a Buddhist. Otherwise, I don't I don't know whether you call yourself as a Buddhist, proudly without knowing anything, and and uh, and sometime when you look back on our history, people use as a religions and create the contradictories and chaos and even like war and so on, and when you look back on that history, so we could tell like those people didn't receive the knowledge of the or the essence of the religions, and uh, so like whoever just proudly or negatively expressing or creating a problem by using the religion's message, I think this is a nonsense. But rather, if you have a proud toward the whatever you are practicing, instead of like creating that problem, what you should do, you should try to study and practice to knowing what is the essence, the knowledge or the of the three jewels, and have a convictions and so on so on.
근데 그건 조금 신길럽지 로치 없으니 그건 조금 신길럽지 로치는 소왔던 데네 용 배당 알 도타 보기지는 알라 개인 로치는 데나 개인 추모 연든 받은 쭉 하나 더요 말 소소 개인 강라베데 소소 장외나 소소 경견 줄어나지 그건 좀라 소왔다비 레와주데 신길럽세 기타 시장다 와 검토 녀모 총 당부 티와지 소 삼로 당내 얌 로종였고 또 삼로 당 정도 기타 시장도 티 또데 셈나 용도 셈벌 톨로 더 차용도 때다 신기랍고 신립 집이더라서 근데 검토 용고 총알 때 티 또 삼로 당 또때 검진 용도 아니 지금 너 적당 셔당당 또 총는 용례구나 검토 용고 총알 때다도 비 신립세 때 된지 그래지 파쇼 요던도 소jel라제 소소 냠네지 소소jel라 지지 땅 용도 신립데 토마토 파쇼도 합득할라 니마샤라노제 된지 요 말지
곰도
너무 좋아요. 곰바 때넷 로고나 너무 좋아요 로고나 곰바 넷 로고 곰장으로 소소세 볼로 지지 자동도 용례 로고나 펜토요 떨어지. 아니 티위도 삼로 요것도 ngārgil 시에 맞서 시성도 와지 소소셈 볼로 냠총총 소소 세바 냠총수 셈로 랑지 시디 장단 바펠 보지 용구나 다 티위도 신림소 지금 떨어지.
So this the at the second is the understand that when we talk about the having a strong faith toward the three jewels, and of course we talk about will that three jewels will fulfill your wish or not by the committing your life in order to worship or whatever, praying toward the three jewels. So that's depend on the one's motivations. For example, um, let's say the if someone or if the student uh, go to the approach to teacher and say pray to teacher every day, saying, "May I have your wonderful knowledge." And can you tell that student will receive a knowledge or not? Of course not, right? Just saying prayers and having faith toward the teacher, and you just approach him every day and stand in front of him saying prayer and making offering, you wouldn't receive the knowledge, of course, right? um, but uh, but doesn't mean this is the appropriate way to practice. But it is. But as I said, the motivation is very important. For example, they say that if by applying the practice, one's able to the subdue or eliminate or the reduce the one's attachments, anger, and so on, so on. This is the sign of the person applying the proper meditations. And the second is uh, by applying uh, the great Torah, Torah, by applying the great the listening, um, uh, listening, the one's able to become the calm and humbles and loyalty and they pacify and their mind. So this is the sign of the he or she applying the proper the listening from the teacher.
그래서 근데 개인가 가슴 찌릅지 얘는 답하고 요 개인들은 되게 연대 요와 소소 이치 개인들 섬당에 대화 요와 디강네 디리 연대 등아 톰도 노바 요나 개인디 가슴 찌릅지 소소 정화진데 가르시게 뜻수 년지 년주도 수 삼동 원바이 네 오늘 블레스 잘 수다 토끼요레스 담아도 답아치고 팬다고 말 뜻이
Mhm. Yeah. So, sorry. When I read the two sentences about the sign of meditations or the sign of the proper list, uh, I forget to add one more things that so like let's begin from let's start from the beginning. When we say the prayers, and and uh, that teacher will not able to fulfill your wish, right? But if you the apply the proper the practice, you will gain the blessing from him or her. Uh, for example, if you apply the proper by applying the proper meditations. Okay, so for example, once whoever reduce by practicing and reducing the uh, attachments and anger, and so this is the sign of the proper the meditations, and that he or she receiving the blessings. So that's from the receiving the blessing by applying the proper the listening, uh, the he or she also able to reduce the or they become the peaceful persons. So this is the when we are able to uh, uh, the apply the proper the meditations and the great listening and so on, uh, from that practice, if we receive the great blessings, that very power of blessing, what it costs, it will cost to reduce the one's
It's 11 o'clock.
And also become once the humble and peaceful persons. So that is what we receiving as a blessing, and that is what it here is really talking about.
어떻게 저당 아주 어느 지 치자 침보래 경지자 침보래 다 침보 먹고요. 근데 요때 자 침보 먹고요. 자 침보 요래 신이 자 침보 요르세 자 침보 요 소소 라렌담 소소 미스 라렌담 소소 펜토이나 자 침보 차리. 대마도 결혼 셀도도 지금알 요래 요나 대자정나 배추지가 마땅하게 동시 대바이나 다 셀때 요르다 셀때 배추 마땅하게 동시 대바나 다 용로와 어떤 나진 집 그 배추 땅 맞으나 세리오즈는 맞도 셈나 요즈는 맞도 사ችን 뭐 요른당 첨부 레세는 맞도 설세 가르 판독지가 종류가 말 근데 또 스테son 또 나진 소소고 정위 근데 른당 첨부 셈는 향질라 소부 근데 그 사ችን 뭐 종도 요아트 소소gel라 소소원이잖아 봐 세롱 니와 땅다비 소gel라 사원 요르된다 소지 그 사원도 소주 땅 맞도이나 다 세도도지 요나 때 배주 땅 맞도 또 스테원 지바레지
And also the here Geshe-la said we should take this very opportunity. We should take that advantage, that very opportunity, and to use our opportunity and use that knowledge and in order to enhance our knowledge and so on, and in order to gain the Buddhahood. Otherwise, just saying that that's this and that is very important, very sense or the precious. So just saying that and knowing that it's not gonna help, right? Let's say if you have the piece of gold, of course the piece of gold is very important, precious, valuable. But if we keep it at home without using them, and then it wouldn't help anything, any beneficial, but rather it will cause the starvations and at the end death. But rather, in order to cease the starvations and and the death, we have to use that piece of gold. If you use piece of gold, so that's we really use that as meaningfully in our life. Same as the teachings. I know this and that is very precious teaching, and I keep in my altar or in my home, and then it wouldn't help. But rather, you should use this teaching and keep in your mind and implement in daily life. And then what we at the end what we try to do, we try to open the seat of the a natural light or the Buddha mind, enhance the Buddha mind.
어때 이제 땅 알아도 그 그게지네 요아들라 베나 른당 재미 오지 요나 또 수 강을 트이트라 아니 차와 나와 좀 강을 침보 트서다 띵무도 배주 땅진이 소소 강을 세시다 아주 깔리기는 상거라 어디 나지 아주 다들 좀 치장인데 오늘 깔리기 없는 지구를 쉐럽다 양질러서 쉐고다 딱 봐도 쉐게도 쉐우라 나 때 장주도 돈도 소소라니라 강을 트이기 못해 배주 땅 탐나 요고요 아주 저땅 아주 미 참아 기위지 거때 까치까치까치라 바게니 타마 쳐야래 니친리 쳐왔더니 디바 마신 번 나와요 거 사와요 거 근데 이제 지 강을 먹고 책을 강을 뒤터비 같이 들었다 그런 거 낭비치 장소주 발랄은다며 때때때때들 있는 닦고 개와 요니지 거때 나와 쳐와요 왔대 lemdigan rotang jire ne tab chwa yongwa de ngi jin jire odela nyamlen ji thawaina tikati peju tang thne tikati ka su dingal tela donglen ji thawa peju tang thwaina ne kyorang sak pengu deng su kang tu peju tang nang ji chipa chi chada wala dema doda 남지 배쇼지 정정전에 수 강은 지쳤어 견디 정말 제송나 배쇼 동마도나 다 팬도 맞은 다 무망 보용다 사와 넣어준 배쇼 동마도 식바되지 어떻게 된다 도지
And also another example, um, uh, for example, whatever the precious the sources you have, why we collect the sources. Of course, we have some sort of like aim or the target that I will use this in my life, and there are like some special sources that I will use this in my life when it comes to some emergency, for example, some kind of crucial the stuff or the sickness and the so on and so on, and I will use them. If we same as the in the practice, uh, I study, we study Buddhist and compassions, impermanence, and then so on and so on. And if we, when it comes to the implementations, and if you cannot use them, so this is the kind of like useless. Same as the when you have a resource, why we keep the resource, so like when it comes to some sort of like emergency, then we can use it. Same as the practice. The reason we study practice, the reason we collect the wonderful knowledge, when it comes to some kind of emergency, let's say when the of course the birth and death is obvious. It is inevitable, and the between death and the birth, well, there's a big gap life, or maybe short the life, and within that life we will face all kinds of things in that, and between that and death and death and birth. And sometimes we face tremendous suffering, or the sickness, chronic sickness, and so on, so on. At that time, if you use the essence of the Buddhist knowledge, such as compassion, thinking of impermanence. For example, oh, I know that the after birth, the death is inevitable, and the sickness is also impermanent, and so on and so on. Once you kind of able to use them when it comes to emergency and face tremendous difficulties, then it means you really use that resource that you keep in your house, that piece of gold that you keep in your house, that you use it during the emergency. Otherwise, if you don't able to use it, that very knowledge is same as keeping a resource at home, or keeping your piece of gold at home. At the time, you never able to use that resource and the gold at home. um, uh, and also, so that's importance. Have the knowledge and collect the knowledge, and use it, and the practices, and use it, and when it comes to the difficulties, and comforted with that equipped that you learn from the practice. Otherwise, when it comes to practice, Gishila said, when you forget. So this is like if you forget when a time to use. So this is like if you have a lot of money, if you're really sick, if you forget to use that, so it is the same as that one. Okay, so if you have any questions, so please ask the questions.
I have a question.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
In the 7 jewels, one of it's hearing and then consideration. And so I'm wondering, is that considered analytical meditation? And is analytical meditation, can it be practiced as in your daily life, not just sitting on the cushion and meditating about something, but contemplating something?
Mm-hmm. You said 3 jewels, right?
Yeah, in the 3 jewels, it's faith, ethics, generosity, hearing, and then consideration. So consideration, I'm wondering if that is like analytical meditation, where you're thinking about the teaching and you're trying to see how it
3 jewels.
works in your life. And I'm wondering if that has to do with, can you do that just in your everyday life? You're just walking around.
6 perfections?
Pardon me?
This you said, I don't understand. You were saying 3 jewels or the 6 perfections?
And now it's the 7 jewels. I'm sorry.
7 jewels. Okay.
Consideration is one of the 7 jewels. Hearing and consideration.
I think she means this of the Arya beings.
Yeah,
the 7 jewels of the Arya beings that we're learning about.
Yeah.
Probably not there.
Well, I can rephrase this question.
Okay.
Rephrase it. When you are just considering a teaching, you're just considering it, you're thinking about it a lot, you're driving in your car, whatever, is that analytical meditation? Or is analytical meditation simply when you're meditating?
The 조금 내줘라. 네. the 조금 더
네. 제가 모델 당시 조금 맞지만 또 년가
조금 말이지 조금
조금쯤에 이치 강실도 이치가 하고 하지네 배낭 다른 소소랑 일 다른 가세 증알아 조금쯤 가세요 때다 저때문에 나도 요다 냠스용도 맞아 간다지 리기 당는데 생각 당는데 세트 무일 때 말아면 가세 때 자신부터 가는도 자되나 또 조금쯤에 근데 참자 자네 리기 당때 생각 자네 많이 봐지게 온 걸. 많이 봐잖아. 땅 가서 자네 매어를 자네 매어 요말 가서 답이 당좀 요들. 그 타마데 답이 당좀 얘기요. 그래서 조금 세대 다시 당하지. 조금 세대 니 사람 많이 갔으면 당들.
모디 조디
노딩이 나죠.
지금 디 모라당도 지금 디 공공당 샤그레를 있는 사무당을 당디요.
모라당도 조금
배나 모라당도 사마다 빛나는 그런 법이 놀드는 지금 사무당에나 지금은 로그를 외시.
일단 로그를 뺐을 때 조금 세트 돈도 되는데 유치라 삼로당이 내리 건데 자때 조금을 셰르브지 차대. 일치 삼로당 때 맞지비고네 셰르브 다시 당이 내리 자야 돼. 모르다는 마당나 저한테 모르다는 데 조금 지나
yeah, so this is the analytical the meditations. Let me
조금 놓았다. 조금 쉐르지 잘.
Yeah.
조금만 다시 당연히 되시거든요.
And analytical meditations is the part of the wisdom. And when you practice analytical, you can analyze on your body. For example, where is the eye? where is the I exist, whether the I exists and within my body or in my mind. So as you go through each step by step, eventually you will end up, feeling there's a feeling that there's no I, because you wouldn't able to find or located the I-ness, either in the body and also in the mind. But doesn't mean it doesn't exist at all, but it is there. The Just merely we just name it, right? Name the I-ness and so on. And so this is the what we call the analytical meditations. And you can also practice single point meditations once once you find the particular object and you single pointedly focus on that object. So this is called the single pointed meditation. But having said that, I want to tell you that do not uh, practice analytical meditations while you are driving, and you might get wrecked.
괜찮다.
I won't recommend that.
삼 당수 네 서위 차지다 네 내위 차진이 어르지 샘다 뭐 지금 내위 차대 조금 됐어 서위 차대 줄라 파삼 당수 조금 차더지
서위차디
샘들 내위 차지다 서위 차 서우지 내차 뜨기 차고 서위 차대 내위 차대 신내래 서위 차대 상통래 또 gom saw yal tinga sawi chatang newi chaniga go yor pena marmi ji otang damba ji na ti sawi chayo na thamchipe kai yor yo icha me wa tamu ji ni tin sawi chayo na ni ji tham set wa na ja ni te go yor ten marmi ko ol mena jo sat ko mar te ol te yo a ji saw ni matwa na tambo ni matwa yo da na ot saw ji
sawi di shineche ne wa di phang ra
sawa te shineche
sawa di shineche ne wa di phang
네와데 신이 싸워도 상관없어. sem 때문에 네데 좋았듯이 시네. 디 잘라 살위 차지 잡을지어도 셰르프 차도
And meditations, when it comes to practice meditations, there's two things important that we have to working on. We have to work on, which are the clarity and the steadiness. These are the two importance. Once you able to remain that able to hold that very clearness, the meditations. So this is what we call the Pakton, special insight, which is the wisdom side, and the second is the to achieving the steadiness mind. Once you have a steadiness mind, and that's we call the shine, which is the single pointed the mind or the meditations.
그냥 그런 사주 본 거는 사고문도 사들 심지 담보 지니다와 대신이잖아. 그 사디 일지 자시 탐자 싸우 샤르데 탐통처럼. 전리스 본 거는.
For example, when you meditate on deity, that very deity, for example, let's say Buddha of compassions, when you meditate on the image of the Buddha of compassions, when you have a steadiness, the image or the form of the Buddha of compassions, so this is we call the shine, the single pointedness. or single-pointed meditations. And once you have a clear the image of the Buddha compassions, not only just like have a steady that objects or the image, but you see the detail clearly of the image. So this is we call the the special insight.
진짜 안 셈파 때 하고면 셈마 셈마 네마트 가지고 소 셈까지 갈라 요로 소때 네도 가스칼라 셈 토도한서 셈 네마토 맞는데 샹 고바스 그랬는데 셈 공바스 나 곰도 셈다 데데나 일도 파서 곰바 사우 셈다 마시라지 때 사우 마시라티 사위 차트 마냠바 차텔라 샹와 샹군유도 공부받지.
And
토어데 간거 신이 받지. 샹와도 세르 받지.
There are the two main obstacles that will arise and during the meditations, and the excitement and the dullness. And for example, when you when your minds kind of become wandering and not able to focus on the objects and the image of the Buddha, and that means you are being distracted, and so this is one of those obstacles. And that time you're losing your wisdom. The Koba ledu samata shirap nyamgur lan bagi.
오빠 너는 신이 냠도.
Shini nyam.
샹와는 오빠니.
예.
셰르 냠도. 신이 셰르때 사위 차지르고 샹와때 마스위 차지르고. 그냥
Sorry, not the wisdom. At that time, you losing your shini, the samadhi or the single pointedness, and when your picture, your image become unclear or and unclear, and then it is that dullness, that obstacles is arising, and it causes the obstacles hindering your practice. At that time, you're losing your wisdom. So two things happens when the excitement comes. You will distract, and you lose your single pointedness meditations. And the second is the when the dullness, the mind hindering your meditations, your picture or image would become unclear, and that time you are losing your wisdom. Okay, any questions? Or if Gishila said before, if you don't have questions, Gishila would like to share one story.
Okay. 당오마 아니 잠도 벌써 잠도 세다 잠도 돈 받다 저땅 다좀 돈 받나 평이 요르세요. 그때 아니 오마가 참바지로 네 리강로 코치고 참대대자 대 꼬마지 용리 니마지 꼬마티 참바텔라 지미주 지 잘라다 푸도 그 통성 오늘다 꼬마티 공다용 꼬마돈 참바텔라 년전에 고 돈이 배 적글지래 그치 배적했었어. 네 참바티야 다때 용다서 살에 다 삼동이 야 저런 수다 저기 코너는 lokpa당다는 이 맞지고 그 교가르고 그 다시 저런 무대 교등아 고요스 때문에 이 집에 레로 잡으면서 근데 저런 거 그런 게 제고다 기콘은 lokpaya 상다는 게 제고스 대고 기콘은 기콘 드라마 주주들 있어 대나 lokpaya 함수 참바가 lokpa 드라마는 야는 좀다데 탁바도 담성네 내가 아슬라네 내가 뭐 동아스다 그만하더니 지파스는 라마라 자신저 상기라 자신저 칠라 자신저 겐들라 자신저 지동을 그 동동네 때다 그 마도 뭐 잡던네 때 그만 놓고 주는 거 무대스 전에 때 말로 당서 때 그만 때다마 용 삼바도 오는 다 차와등도 참바도 그 삼바도 야니 렌다 그 줄라겐 티페스 라마라 춘소 산줄라 춘소 그 동네 때 나자페 당도 가르 있나 그 그때 삼동네 그 측드 sem나 조리 다 삼동서 그때 좀또 남지 디가나 저 mamma 좀 레즈가 로스 원다 친척인데 로 딩이마데 레튼 로트 신앙진이 삼바디카나 멤버인데 근데 다때 기타만데 잠루고 파인 측점 라점 변나라 근데 파인 요래서 어떻게 어떻지네 롱로 된지래 기타 고급에 가다 지오 말을 링게나 코텔라 예다다 잠루도 예다 당할 때 판심도 되게 가다 말이나 되게 파인들이 요소 없어
얘도 다이디 페이지 나라
자꾸 잠도 그 예로 당가라. 잠도 파쇼디 잠도 듣고 있어. 그때 돌아라 클레버. 돌아들래도 삼바오는 예 대삼로 당니. 다 예로 당다 당할 때 잠도 돈이 때 가르세고는 라마를 준 나서 쇼동소. 때 가르이나 쳤세고나 그때 그때 이제 별로 쳐지고. 별로 쳐도 뛰간다. 남진 지금 대전도 된도 더. 자, 그 삼바디 그런 멤버.
네.
앞으로 종종으로 그랬어요. 잠도 파인 좀 돈나라 파인 요소를 뜻이죠.
So this history very involved like a sense of humor and also very interesting same time. And also like look like it's a kids the kind of fairy tale. Oh, sorry, kids story, but it's very interesting and meaningful, showing the meaningful message here, which is very related to what we discussed earlier about the three jewels, and usually in the we say that Tibetan, we say that just hearing the sound of the three jewels has tremendous benefits. For example, if someone's saying the three jewels, if someone heard that that chanting, he or she received a tremendous blessing and so on and so on. And so let me tell a story. There was a meditator who spent his practice in a cave, and by himself. And so when he was meditating, he had visitors, like thief visitors, and that thief been watching that meditator, and he was thinking that meditator has a money in his meditation place. Then he been teasing or disturbing his meditations, and then meditator one time came and asked, please leave me alone. What do you need? Please leave me alone. I'm meditating, I'm practicing, please leave me alone. And then thief said, yeah, I will leave you alone if you give me your money. And then the meditator said, okay, I will give you money. Like in Tibet, when you meditate in the cave or some meditations place, the window is very small. We kept the window and door very small, especially the window. And then the meditator asked the thief that, put your hand inside the window, then I will pass the money. And then the thief, I think he put his hand through the window, and then suddenly meditator grabbed his hand and tied all his body, with ropes. Sorry, he pulled the hands and tied his hand with the ropes and tied somewhere in the door, and then the the thief cannot move, right? He's stuck that on window, and the meditator opened the door. He come outside, and then he beat. So when meditator beat behind on his ass, when he beat, and he said these three jewel praise, Lama la Japsu Cho, Sangye la Japsu Cho, Chela Japsu, taking refuge to the Buddha, taking refuge to the Dharma, taking refuge to Sangha, and beat him or the thief, and then later he released him, and so thief was very sad, and for him it was a bad day, and but anyway he went down to the valley, and he rest under the bridge, and then it was really pain, he was having a lot of pain, and but same time he was kind of wondering that what was the word that meditator was saying, and it makes tremendous pain, but that pain gives him some sort of like the interest to knowing what is the chanting about, and he was repeating the chanting, because he had a feeling of the pain, and he repeating the chanting and trying to understand the meaning of that three jewels chanting. But at that time, while he was contemplating on the three jewels, the recitations, and they saying that there was usually cross this bridge, ghosts or the demons every time they cross that bridge, and that time that demons couldn't see the person, but that demon saw just a flame, flame or the fire, rather than the real persons. And but anyway, his story, what it shows that and even though that thief, he was deeply concentrating on that chanting, trying to know what this meaning, which caused a lot of pain, and because he trying to contemplating or trying to understand that meaning, and it has a tremendous blessing, and rising and coming, and which demon couldn't see the real person, but see the flame, just the flame. And just make you clear that when the meditator beat thief, doesn't mean the meditator was mean, but he was out of compassions and tried to relieve or his maybe wrongdoing, and teaching him lesson. So he not only just beat. When he was beating out of compassion, he was saying the prayers, Lama la Kyabsu Cho, Sangha la Kyabsu Cho.
Tensata kutte tena dono karshi wazna jidong chine jamru panshu niwa ni kula hashutila chambati rupa tangde kurang la ne tene chine jamru tone ta chijina nyangji gu mujira tene chine ni kurang la kola sambu mayungwa chite tene chine ka chine lakpa damni maa nanglo do gu jabda yangji nanglo de kola lakpa lor su kula wa mungde chene da lo tong tensata tene de kurang yungda sangare 송신이 된지 과시고 송 그런 점도 편식고 동대 제당 보기 주는 것도 볼라데 보기 주는 때 동안 모실 수
So this story shows that two things. One is the benefits, and one is the logic and the benefits of the blessings of the chanting. And meditator, maybe he was very wise, and at the same time he was very compassionate, and he tried to give a lesson. If you just go to give a lesson to some thief, he wouldn't listen. He wouldn't follow you, right? So he has a kind of that great technique to teach the lesson to the thief, and out of compassions and using the great through the intelligent way, he tied the thief. But when he released, he just not just sent him empty hand. I think he gave him some money and released him. So, but anyway, this is the it doesn't mean this is true, but it shows the benefits and the logic. And this is we used to hear a lot when we were kids. In Tibet, a lot of kids and senior people, they will share that kind of story to their kids.
Oh yeah. That that's on it.
Okay, so we close. We conclude our class here, and we will say the closing prayer on page number 80. Chaujuroji Paden Zawe Lama Rinpoche Dagye Yingar Bami Denjo La Karen Chenpo Gone Jizonde Koson Tuje Wudro Zato So Chanjo Zinjo Rinpoche Marje Pana Tijer Chewa Nyamba Mebar Yang Kone Kondo Bevar Sho Kare Ravi Korve Shankandar Pendan Dewa Male Jongwe Ne Chare Zewa Tenze Jazoi Shabe Sente Bardo Danger Ji Jamba Bawa Jedra Jemba Na Kondo Sango Deyan Dejende Deda Ganje Jesu Dalo Jan Yewa Deda Tamje Rabdo Desun Shabe Yawa Tamje Je Ngowa Gala Jodu Ngabade Dajen Divi Zawa De Kunjan Songo Chushe Rabdo Ngowarje Ande Jone Tamba Darshan Denze Jiwo Tamche Kankam Zong Lejen Kamla Deje Jongwe Ne Sanje Tamba Tantu Jijir Ju Zero Kando Yatsong Kawe Dejo Shinye Ngosu Zabe Yawe Ngobe Longzong Denye Le Kache Zamyan Dobur Major. Okay.